Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and it's Debsy, and the place to be, it's Debsy. Bloop, bloop, that's me. Boop, Debsy. Hey guys, happy Monday. First day back into work after having a long week off, and I have to tell you, the week off did me good. I'm a little revitalized, so if it's Monday, then it is Man Crush Monday. And listen, today's Man Crush Monday is of a gentleman from my absolute favorite show of all time, The Office. I am a super uber fan. I could watch it all day, every day, no lie, and still laugh like it is my first time watching it. Love it. So today's Man Crush Monday Spotlight is going to be on Jim, aka Jimothy Halpert himself, John Krasinski. So John Krasinski was born October 20th, 1979 in Boston, in the Boston area. John Krasinski, he went to Brown University. While he was at Brown, he actually interned as a scriptwriter on the show Late Night with Conan O'Brien. After he graduated from Brown, he moved to New York City. And in 2004, he got his big break, the huge break, the break that everybody knows him for. And he was cast as Jim Halpert in The Office. He was cast in 2004, and he was in that from 2005 to 2013. Listen, doesn't matter what else he does in his life. He could go out and win 10 Oscars. He's always going to be Jim Halpert for me. So that's just it. We could end this video right now, but I'm not going to. Let's take a look at some of the other things he did. In 2006, he was in a direct-to-DVD heist comedy. I don't know what a heist comedy called A New Wave. 2007, he was in the indie film Smiley Face with Anna Faris. Also in that same year, he was in License to Wed, and that was with Mandy Moore and the late great Robin Williams. He also, in between 2007 and 2008, he co-starred in quite a few different films. He was in Dreamgirls, he was in The Holiday, and he was in Jarhead. 2008, he co-starred with George Clooney, and Renee Zellweger in Leatherheads. He made his directorial debut in 2009 with a dramedy called Brief Interviews with Hideous Men. Also in 2009, he was in Away We Go with Maya Rudolph. He was also in that same year, he was in It's Complicated with the incomparable Meryl Streep and Steve Martin. 2011, he was in Something Borrowed with Kate Hudson, and that was based on a book adaptation of the same type. And that was actually a movie that I kind of somewhat liked a little better than the book. So that never happens. Also in 2011, I thought this was interesting. He was actually in the running to play Captain America. 2012, he starred with Drew Barrymore in Big Miracle and also the film Nobody Walks. In 2014, he was in Aloha with Rachel McAdams and Bradley Cooper. 2016, listen, this is when he got the body. He packed on 25 pounds of muscle for the movie 13 Hours, The Secret Soldiers of Benghazi. That's where he got that body that you're going to see in one of the pictures, hopefully somewhere out and around. If not, I'll put it here maybe. That's where he got his body then. In 2017, he was in the movie Detroit. 2018 was when he when his directorial, this is when everybody thinks his directorial debut was. It's actually when I thought he made his directorial debut, but it in fact was not. But in 2018, he directed, co-wrote, and starred in The Quiet Place. Listen, I love that movie. That movie was fantastic. It's one of these edge of your seat thrillers. There's not a lot of gore, but it's like, it has a lot of jump scares. Loved it. And then in 2021, he had his follow-up sequel, A Quiet Place 2. That was supposed to be released in 2020, and I believe it was in March of 2020. But right as it was to be released, the world shut down because of the pandemic. So in 2021, the sequel to The Quiet Place was released. In March of 2020, he released a web series on YouTube called Some Good News. And this was just in response to the pandemic because everything was shutting down and everybody was isolated and everybody was getting, myself included, was getting a little down in the dumps and a little depressed. And so he started Some Good News, and it was a web series. It was on YouTube, and it was just amazing. I loved that. It was something that just would brighten up your day. He did a lot of good through that. In 2021, he had a cameo in Free Guy that also starred Ryan Reynolds. And in 2022, he made his Marvel's Cinematic Universe debut in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. And moving on to some of his charity work. He has worked with a charity called Family Reach. Now, it's a charity that helps with financial issues that come along with a cancer diagnosis. For his 40th birthday, he asked people to donate money to Family Reach for his 40th birthday, and he raised $500,000 for Family Reach. He's also worked with the Starbucks Foundation and donated 100% of the proceeds from the sale of his Some Good News merchandise. So there was a link, they could click on it, and anything that you bought from there was then given to the Starbucks Foundation and divvied out to the charities that they work with. Also, one of the things that he did on Some Good News was he worked with PepsiCo, with Pepsi, to donate $3 million to Guy Fieri's charity for relief for restaurant workers. So I believe he had set up Guy Fieri had set up a foundation, or he was working in conjunction with one. But so $3 million was donated to this restaurant workers relief charity. And once again, it was at the time of the pandemic and everything was shut down. So restaurant workers were just losing out on income. So very, very noble. And some interesting information about John Krasinski. He graduated with future Office castmate BJ Novak. You might not know that name right off the tip of your tongue, but he played Ryan Howard in The Office. Also, he went to Costa Rica and taught English as a second language. While he was there, he saved a woman from drowning after she was caught up in a riptide. What? Originally, he was called in to audition for the part of Dwight Schrute. Glad he did not get that part because I cannot imagine anyone other than Rainn Wilson playing Dwight Schrute. He actually never intended on becoming an actor. His first choice for a profession was an English teacher. Also, as you know, The Office was based on the UK version of The Office, and he was a huge fan of the UK version. He's a pretty tall guy. He's 6'3", but in his family, he's on the shorter end because he has two brothers, and one of them is 6'8" and one of them is 6'9". So he's actually the shorter of the three. His childhood crushes were Molly Ringwald and Vanna White. Vanna White, that was odd. And his guilty pleasure, now this was back in 2002. I don't know if it's remained the same, but if this is the case, then listen, I love him even more. But his guilty TV pleasure was watching The Bachelor and The Bachelorette. Love him. just another reason to love him. So everybody, that is a little bit of information on Mr. John Krasinski. I'm gonna put a little bit of a slideshow up in here someplace. And enjoy. If I've not told you yet today, I love you. You're loved, seen, and heard. Please make sure that you put love, kindness, compassion, acceptance, hope, and positivity out there. Please spread kindness liberally. Also, if you're any place where it is a little cold, like it is here, and I'm kind of liking it, please stay warm. No matter where you're at, please stay safe. And I love you guys. Have a great day. Bye, guys.